The greatest glory in living lies in not in ever falling, but in rising every time we fall. These words of Nelson Mandela remind us that life is unpredictable and unexpected challenges will definitely arise. But it's how we prepare for and respond to these challenges that truly matter. Welcome to Insurance on the Move. Of course, on this show, we're dedicated to helping you navigate the complexities of risk management and insurance. Join us as we explore the latest insights and expert advice to help you protect what matters most to you and, to help you build a more secure future. Welcome to the show. My name is Akan Usen, standing in for your regular Victor Oteri. Of course, as the show progresses, we'll be giving you traffic updates along the way, but do trust that we want to hear from you. So feel free to connect with us as the show progresses. 080-991-20777 and 091-538-77127. On the show today, of course, Insurance on the Move is your go-to show for everything insurance and beyond. Today, we're unpacking a major reform that is reshaping Nigeria's insurance landscape. I'm talking about the NIRA 2025 law, NIIRA 2025. Now, joining us all the way from ICO Insurance PLC is our guest, Omotoyosi Toshogbangba, seasoned professional in the insurance industry. Great to have you here with us.
Thank you, Akan. Good evening, and so glad to be here.
Yes, obviously you're doing it alone today.
Oh, yes,
No
yes,
sidekick.
handled.
All right, but I'm sure you're sufficiently able to address this particular topic, the NIRA 2025 law. Let's start with the basics. A few people who do not really know what this is. What is the NIRA law 2025?
Okay, thank you, Akan, and thanks for having me once again. So when we talk about the NIRA 2025, that stands for the Nigerian Insurance Industry Reform Act.
Nigerian Insurance Industry Reform Act. Okay.
Yes, and this was signed into law on the 5th of August 2025 by our president. That's President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
It's quite recent.
Yeah, it's quite recent. Actually, this is just an act to revamp the country's insurance sector and replace the outdated Insurance Act of 2003.
Okay. 2003.
So we have an existing law that guides the insurance industry,
That's
right?
the Insurance Act
it's
of
just like you have a
2003.
phone, you're updating your
Yes, your
operating system.
OS and all that.
So that's what this all means.
Or perhaps you're getting a brand new phone that's
An updated version to make you work better.
of the pre-existing.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's what it means. So that's what the whole NIRA 2025 means.
Amazing. So definitely this is a huge reform, and I'm sure you'd have a bit of more specific information for the benefit of our listeners.
Okay, for the benefit of our listeners, right, let me just quickly give this breakdown. Okay, what the NIRA law does is that it's to give key provisions around the consolidation of the laws, right?
Yes.
You have consumer protections where you as an insured,
Yes.
your protection, your interest
Yes.
is being prioritized
Okay.
better.
Yeah.
Not that it was not prioritized initially.
Than it was before.
Yes, than it was before. So you are getting a better offer. You're getting a better protection in this. Then you have some of these mandatory insurances. You have digital transformations, right? But one of the key highlights in this mandatory comprehensive insurance for public buildings.
Public buildings.
Yes,
Okay.
what this does is that, as outlined in Section 75 and 76 of the NIRA Act law, right? If I'm permitted, let me quickly quote this,
quote.
right? It says, the law states, a person shall not construct or cause to be constructed any building of more than one floor without ensuring his liability in respect of the construction risk that may be caused by his negligence or the negligence of his servant, agent, consultant, or public authority, which may result in bodily injury or loss of life to any person or workman working on the site. In all of this, what it means is that protect the people working for you, protect the people around you, protect any liability or any risk that you might be exposed to if you are building. That is one part, right? Then the other part states that every public building shall be insured against the hazards of collapse, fire, earthquake, storm, flood, and such other hazards as the commission may determine. Now, this is also saying that Once your building is done,
Yes.
right, you're cooking it, you're done building.
Yes.
Now people are accessing that building.
Or they're living in
You
it.
should
Yes.
also have it covered against any risk that they may be exposed to.
Okay. Now, at the term public building, what are we specifically referring to? What type of buildings are we talking about?
Now, when you say public buildings, anything can be called public building as long as you have people accessing it.
Okay.
It could be
So a
hotels, it could
bank.
be banks, it could be malls, it could even be your own private building, but you
Say
have
residential.
yes, it's a residential building,
Okay.
and you are the landlord, but you have people, you have some of the parts of your building that is rented out to people.
Okay.
Right? It is a public building. Yes.
Okay. How about those that okay, so still under construction?
Yes.
Does that or this also apply to them as well? Does this law apply to them as well?
Construction
Yes.
is the first part that I spoke about.
Okay.
You cannot construct any building of more than one floor without
Okay.
having that insurance. Okay, so what it means is that whatever activity is going on that site,
Yes.
you must have that insurance. So what we do is that for builders now, right, you are
Yes.
required to have the builder's liability insurance. So what this means is that this ensures that if an accident happens during the building phase,
Yes.
for instance, a worker gets injured or the structure collapses, there's adequate compensation, right, and legal protection in place.
Okay.
Because when things like this happens, when things like this arises, right, a whole lot of things happen. You are faced with a whole lot of challenges. Apart from the money that has gone,
Yes.
you have legal challenges. You have everybody. Do you know who I am? I'll show you. You know, and all that and everything. This is what this particular thing does for you. This particular policy, rather, does for you as a builder in that
Yes.
phase. We call it builder's liability.
Right,
insurance.
right. How about the risks? Okay, so for example, now talking about all this, how about where there's non-compliance? Is there anything that are there any penalties for non-compliance?
Okay, so there is, or should
Okay.
I say there are?
There
The
are
reform
penalties.
penalties, stiff penalties
Okay.
for non-compliance. Okay, and when we talk about that, for owners or occupiers
Yes,
who fail to insure a public building,
yes.
you face a fine of at least £1 million.
Because why I say this, we see a lot of buildings, especially in Lagos, springing up here and there, and all that. Are you trying to tell me that all these developers have gotten this particular insurance?
You know, we are in Nigeria.
Yes.
Some of us, there's like they say, me, I always have something to say to you.
Yes.
That like they say on the streets now,
Mhm.
and it over my way, we have a whole lot of people who are still not compliant.
Yes.
Probably because they have one or two people,
Yes.
or they know how to maneuver
Their way.
their way around all
things.
these laws, right? They said all animals are equal,
For some.
but some are more equal than others.
Indeed.
Right, but it is necessary. We don't even have to wait for the law to state this, because you have people who are exposed to this risk on your behalf. So that's what this should do. So £1 million fine or 12 months imprisonment,
$1 million
or-
fine
or
or 12
12
months
months,
imprisonment.
or both.
So it's not like you can choose one.
No,
Or both.
depending on the judge sitting on
Okay.
your case,
Okay.
right?
What
You
makes
might
the
be
judgment?
favorable to have just one
One.
out of the two, or
None-
you have both,
None is palatable actually as punishment.
because it's not worth it.
Yes.
Yes, it's not. But I hope that people out there will just see beyond our noses. Let
And
me just
take
put it that way,
action.
and take action.
And
Yes,
take
thank
action.
you.
All right, a quick detour. Let's see what's happening on the roads. We have this one from the Okeodo axis. There was an earlier reported lone accident at Ijaye in what's journey Abulegba. Well, that has been moved off the road. It's now a better movement on that end. But of course, let's not take away from the fact that we have return journey influx in earnest at this time. CBD Dumota axis. For now, we are currently enjoying good movement from Adenija Dele Road down to Police Post via Ojaoba. Also, looking at movement from Police Post connecting back to Oyebanji intersection, it's equally good at this time. Tinubu Square connecting Nnamdi Azikiwe Street on Route Carter Bridge via Tom Jones intersection is very good at this time. Idumota underneath the pedestrian bridge, descending towards Enyeyo, connecting Balogun Street is busy due to market activities and bus stop activities. around that route. Ilubiri, connecting Carter Bridge in West Journey, Ijora Lokpa, as well as Oyibo, is moving as expected, and there's no cause for alarm. No impediments at this time, and we have traffic managers very well placed, maintaining things, just managing the traffic situation. In a part of Ikorodu at this time, I can tell you that beyond Benson, it's a slow one towards Ikorodu interchange due to market activities and pedestrians crossing. Ikorodu interchange connecting Shagam police station is free, while it's slow moving towards Munirat Aliji due to the nature of the road. Further movement towards Sabo roundabout is very appreciable, while traffic is slow towards Ile Boba. Journeying towards Lasma Yard, Somi Okigbegun is fast but slightly slow at first gate due to pedestrians crossing. Second gate, Jendol, Redeem all the way through to Enyo filling station is looking good, but slow moving as you approach Odogunyo corridor due to bus stop activities. Connecting Ojibode is slow. Beyond towards Obas Palace is free. The return journey towards Ojibode is looking good. Traffic in West Ladiga is encouraging, while further movement towards Onishigida is free. It's a fast one at Itumpate, but slightly slow and approaching Otaono due to alternation activities. Yet we are talking NERA 2025, the Nigerian Insurance Industry Reform Act of 2025, which was signed into law on August 5th, 2025. All right, we'll go for a quick break. Of course, Omoto Toyosi Toshogbangba is on hand, ready to answer all our questions. Feel free to connect with us if you have any great areas you do not understand. 080-991-20777 and 091-538-77127. We'll go on that break, and when we come back, we'll take it to the next level. Stay close.
Wow! What just happened? What kind of question is that? Can't you see? Wow! That looks like a brand new SUV. What kind of vehicle is that? What kind of question is that? Can't you see? Was it the motorcycle that caused it? Or the cooling van? What kind of question is that? Can't you see? But why is that man smiling and pressing his phone instead of pressing that careless man's face against the car's floorboard? And what kind of question is that? Can't you see? But what kind of man is that? Wait, seriously, what kind of man is that?
Yes, that's the kind of man that has prepared for the unexpected. The man that knows that when accident happens, ICO Auto Insurance Plan keeps you covered, so you don't have to worry. Get the ICO Auto Insurance Plan today. Call us on 0700 iContact, that is 0700 2442 668228, or visit www.icoplc.com to learn more. ICO Insurance, your stable friend, yesterday, today, and always.
Trust all the way, every day. Live your life, we've got your back, and so I will take you there all the way, every day. Yeah, stability assured.
ICO Insurance, your stable friend, yesterday, today, and always.
Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. It's Insurance on the Move. Of course, Akan Usen here, standing in for Victor or Terry. And yes, Omotoyosi Toshogbangba has been doing justice to helping us understand the NERA 2025 law. Yes, what every Nigerian property owner should know. Of course, when you're armed with information, you don't go astray. You don't go foul of the law. So at this point in time, of course, we had she's been able to, establish, we talked about the basics, how it was signed into law, and the fact that, it replaces the outdated Insurance Act of 2003, an upgrade, so to say. And she talked about the key highlights, and we're able to state that there are even penalties for those who do not who go who for non-compliance with the law. But I asked a pertinent question: how about buildings that are still under construction? For benefit of those into construction, those realtors and all that, are there specific policies they can take to protect them? Let's talk a bit about this.
All right, thank you, Akan. I mentioned something earlier on, and I said that builders and developers rather are now required to take the builder's liability insurance.
Yes.
This is what helps you to mitigate against losses. It's not that it's not going to happen,
Yes.
right? But once it happens, what does it do for you? It cushions the effect of whatever that loss might bring to you, right? That's for the builder's liability. We also have what we call the public liability. In the process of you building, anything can happen to the next building beside you, or probably somebody's car is parked across your site,
in front.
and in the process probably you are even spraying and painting, because we've seen cases where a building under construction is going on and they were painting, and somehow some of the paint splashed on a GLK that was parked across or something. And you have to, all those things. These are little things that we don't think might happen, but it happens. And when it happens, how do you go about it? You pick money for your pocket, or you allow your insurance to just help you cushion that effect. Then there is also what we call the workman compensation, or you can also call it the employer's liability. What this does is that it ensures that if an accident happens to your workers during this phase,
or someone in
or gets injured or something, it gives you it compensates them while they are on the job. So all these policies put together, or either of them, what it does is that it helps you mitigate against losses. It prepares you and make sure there is adequate compensation and legal protection in place in the process of you constructing your building.
Great stuff. And 08099120777 and 09153877127 if you have any questions, or you want to send a WhatsApp message, 08099120777. Omotoyo, see, I like the fact that it's not just about protecting the building, but the people inside, people around, and all that. That's just amazing.
Yes, if you remember earlier on, I mentioned something. I said consumer protection.
Yes.
Right? So this context, what this law does is that it's designed to safeguard lives, property, and public safety. It's also about accountability and protecting the public.
So it's about the public.
It's a full package, right? The public is protected. Those working there, they are also protected. You as the owner, right, the builder, you are protected in a way that if anything also happens to your building, you are also protected for compensation.
Okay. So now this is for buildings being constructed. Once the building is completed, am I safe from the new act?
You are a true Nigerian.
No.
Not at all. You are not. Right, because like I said Section 75 and Section 76 of the new Act. Section 75 talks about building under construction, while Section 76 speaks to public buildings. Right, any building being accessed by the public, like we mentioned earlier, be it hotels, be it schools, churches, malls, your personal, residential, and all that, they need to be protected. Okay, so at every point in time, there's always a risk that you're exposed to, and you need to be guided against it. Okay, so buildings must be insured against the hazards like collapse, fire, earthquake, storms, and flood. Like most of the time when I'm explaining these things to people, I say we should just thank God, the African thing now. Thank God that we are not exposed to things like all these hurricanes, Sandy, Hurricane Catherine, and all those natural disasters and everything. Like, we are blessed in Africa to a large extent, right? If not, we will actually appreciate the fact that these things are in place, right? I think the highest I've ever seen, I don't know, maybe in my very few short stay on earth, is flood, right? And, people will just pack the water outside, they warm up and move on. Right, so your building needs to have that insurance that cover that can help you mitigate against any loss that may arise. There is also fire and burglary plan you. Now, once the building is done, and it turns into a public building,
Yes.
you need to have the fire special peril plan in place. Now, what this does is that it helps you, it protects you if a collapse happens, like you call it natural disaster. Those are the special risk in this context. We have something we call malicious damage. We have what we call the strike, riot, and civil commotion. Those are the things that you are protected on under fire. Now, when we say fire insurance, it does not necessarily mean the house has to be burning, right? Under fire insurance, we have a lot of, risk that we protect against. Like I said, the strike, riot, and civil commotion. Remember the days where we had, remember the Hensas saga, right? And some people decided to take the laws into their hands. They broke into people's homes.
Looting.
That joined those who had good intentions.
Yes.
And anything can happen, okay? In such a situation, if you have a fire policy with an extended cover of that strike, riot, and civil commotion, where hoodlums barge into your homes and boggle everything and all that, you're protected. So it doesn't have to be fire that is burning, right? Okay. Insurance can be...
the extended cover and all that. Yes.
So it's deeper than the name it is called, right? So once your building is done and you're living in it, you need to go to the next insurance cover that needs to protect you along the way.
All right. Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. We are discussing the NERA 2025 law. Yes, understanding NERA 2025. What every Nigerian property owner should know, how you should key into this, how this would safeguard your building, whether during construction and beyond construction. Yes, and Omotoyosi Toshogwangwa has been able, to take us through that and just shine the light and give us optimal understanding of this. We will go for another quick break. I also envisage your questions, so feel free to connect with me. I definitely would love to hear from you. Meanwhile, traffic update from the Okpebi axis. I see that this one is from the Okpebi Allen axis, where it's a good one along Obafemi Awolowo Way from Radio Junction to Allen intersection. Allen in what Ikeja underneath the bridge is looking good. A little delay approaching Ikeja underneath the bridge, and the return journey from Ikeja in what Allen intersection is also quite good. Aromire Street inwards and outwards is good for now. It's a better movement on Kudirat Abiola Way all the way from Ojota inwards Welfare Junction, Ikosi Junction, Clay Junction down to Radio Junction. Return journey also quite friendly. Ikosi Road from 7-Up linking Kudirat Abiola Way is good this time, and the return journey back to 7-Up is also quite friendly. Now, construction of the road is ongoing in front of Chicken Republic. That's opposite Ileoja. But, it's well managed and it's not really affecting traffic as such. Then Okpebi Link Bridge, Adebola House is busy, but it's moving. Outwards to Welfare Junction is also good. Okpebi Road inwards Adebola House, busy. Yes, like I said, Salvation Junction is calm. Towing roundabout down to Allen intersection is good at the moment. Now, looking at the stretch of Billings Way, in and out is in great shape at this time. No impediments as we speak. All right, a quick breather. When we come back, we'll take it down the home stretch. Omotoyosi Toshogwangwa from ICO PLC is still in the building. Stay close.
Honestly, I am fed up of my street.
Hey, what's wrong now?
I think my street is jinxed. Over the weekend, my apartment was boggled and the criminals made away with valuables. They even took my son's toy treasure box.
Stable and reliable.
And just this morning, there was a huge fire incident in my neighbor's house and he lost everything. I mean everything.
Wow. Anyway, like I said before, stable and reliable.
What are you saying? Are you mocking me?
Abba, of course not. I just said
portable, blah, blah, blah. I can rhyme too. It doesn't help my situation.
Okay, you remember I had similar experience last year, but thankfully, I had signed up to a fire and burglary insurance plan with a stable and reliable partner, ICO Insurance.
Oh, now I get it now. Yeah. But why didn't you tell me all this while now?
When the unexpected happens to your home appliances, ICO provides the insurance cover that makes you worry-led. Get the ICO Fire and Burglary Insurance Plan today. Call us on 0700 iContact. That is 0700 2442 668228 or visit www.icoplc.com to learn more. ICO Insurance, your stable friend. Yesterday, today, and always.
All right, welcome back to the show. It's Insurance on the Move, and Omotoyosi Toshogbangba has been, doing a great job, of shining the light on, helping us understanding the NERA 2025 law and what every property owner should know. So, Omotoyosi, you mentioned earlier that there are actually stiff penalties for those who do not comply. Let's just touch quickly on that.
I can. Okay, like I said, that in every law there is something you call conformity and non-conformity, right?
Yes.
So if you decide not to comply and the hands of the law stretches forth towards your side, right? Like I said earlier on, that's there's a fine of at least ₦1 million,
At least ₦1 million.
or 12 months imprisonment. ₦1 million, 12 months imprisonment. And if you look at the way insurance works, right, your premium might not even be up to half ₦1 million for you to get protected. In some cases now, please don't quote me,
Yes.
right, depending on the level of exposure that you have. In some cases, we've seen it. Your premium might not be up to the ₦1 million that you want to pay as fine.
And
And instead, you might, in some cases, you might not even be lucky enough to get that fine. You might be able to pay that. 12 months imprisonment. An ex-convict is an ex-convict, regardless of the offense you went to prison for. And like I said, you might not be so lucky with the judge sitting on your case. They might decide to just dash you both.
Okay, so it's good to be on the right side of the law. So for those who want to get compliant or learn more, how can they reach you?
Okay, my name is Omotoyosi Toshogbangba, and I work with Akan Insurance PLC. We call ourselves companion, not company. Okay, so we are your one-stop shop for all your insurance needs, from life to general coverages. Okay, you can visit our website on www.aicoplc.com, or you can email us at sales support, double S in the middle now,
Yes,
sales and
support.
support, right?
Yes.
But one word, at aicoplc.com, or you call 0700 eye contact, right? That is 0700 244 266 8228. ICO Insurance, stability assured.
All right, it's been a great one on the show. Thank you very much, Omotoyosi Toshogbangba, for taking time out of your schedule to come shine the light
Thank
on
you
this
for having me.
very important topic. Dear listeners, we wrap up this episode. I'd love to leave you with a thought-provoking quote from Warren Buffett. Risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. By understanding and managing risk through insurance, you can protect what matters most and, build a more secure future. Thanks for tuning in to Insurance on the Move, and big thanks to our guest, yes, Omotoyosi Toshogbangba. And this show, of course, has been packaged by Definite Media Concepts. Until next time, stay informed, stay protected, and take control of your financial security. Bye for now. See you next week.
There's a friend who'll be there through the sun, through the rain, and a friend